Hello everyone, myself Palak Thakur and I am your history teacher of class 8th standard. So today we will discuss about the chapter of the effects of British rules. In previous classes we already discussed about the subsidiary alliances, life story of the Peshwa Bajirao, Chhatrapati Pratap Singh, dual governance, civil services, judicial system, establishment of East India Company and British and Maratha. So today we will discuss about the topic of the equality before law. The first point that it is. In early times, law in India differed from place to place. There was a difference in a judgment on the basis of a casteism. Second point that it is. Under the leadership of Lord Macaulay, a committee was set up to create the code of law. The third point that it is. The Indian Penal Code was enforced all over British India with the British principle of equality before law. So, as we already discussed in the slide here that the law in India differ from place to place. It will be going to be happen on the basis of the casteism. Under the leadership of the Lord Macaulay, a committee, it was going to be set up to create the code of a law. Lord Macaulay, he was created the code of the law. The Indian Penal Code was enforced all over British India with British principle. That was the equality before law. Equality before law, it will be going happen on the basis of the casteism. Now our next topic, that is economics policies of the British. The first point that it is, due to the industrial revolution, a capitalist economy prevailed in England. Second point that it is, the British inculcated an economic system in India which was conducted to the economic system in England. So, as we already see in this slide here that a capitalist economic prevailed in England. The British inculcated an economic system in India. Now our next topic, that is land revenue policy. The first point that it is, during the pre-British rule, revenue was based on the type of a cultivated crop. The second point that it is, the farmer was exempted from taxation in case of loss of crop, and revenue was collected in the form of grains. The farmer land was not confiscated in case of a late payment. The third point that it is, to increase income, the British made important change the revenue system. The fourth point that it is, the tax was fixed as per the area of the land. Fifth point that it is, payment of tax was made compulsory in the form of cash. Sixth point that it is, if the farmer failed to pay tax, his land was confiscated. So, as we already see in this slide here that during the pre-British period, revenue was based on the basis of the cultivated crop. How the cultivated crop it will be growing, according to that the revenue it will be going to be taken. The farmer was exempted from taxation in the case of a loss of a crop. The farmer was free from taxation in the case of the loss of the crop and revenue. The farmer land was not confiscated in case of a late payment. So as we already see in this slide that the farmer land was not captured in the case of the land late payment. To increase income, the British made important changes the revenue system. After that, to increase income, the British made important changes the revenue system. The tax was going to be fixed as per the area of the land. The payment of a tax was made compulsory in the form of a cash. The payment of taxes, it will be going going to be made mandatory in the form of a money. If the farmer failed to pay tax, his land was confiscated. If the farmer failed to pay tax, his land was captured. Now our next topic, that is the commercialization of agriculture. The process of focusing on cultivation of a profit-oriented cash crop instead of a food grain is known as the commercialization of agriculture. That is the definition of the commercialization of agriculture. The process of focusing of a cultivation of profit-oriented cash crop instead of a food grain, that is the commercialization of agriculture. Now our next topic, that is development in a transport and communication system. The first point that it is, the British developed modern facility like a transport and communication in India. The second point that it is, in 1853, first railway ran on the route of Mumbai to Thane. In 1853, British started telegraph system in India. British also started the postal system. Third point that it is, cities and military station got connected to one another. As we already see in this slide here that the British developed the transport and communication system in India. In 1853, the first railway ran on the route of the Mumbai to Thane. It was the first railway ran on the Mumbai to Thane. That is a very important point. British in 1853 also the British started telegraph system in India. British also started the postal system. In 1853, British started the telegraph system and the postal system also. Cities and military station got connected to one another just because of the development of the transport system. Now our next topic, that it is decline of a traditional industry in India. The first point that it is, the British government obtained huge taxes on goods exported from India to England. Second point that it is, very less tax was imposed on a good imported from England to India. Third point that it is, good manufacture in England were machine made and hence there was maximum production at minimum cost. Fourth point that it is, it was difficult for the Indian artists to compete with such cheap products. As we already see in this slide here that decline of a traditional industry in India, the British government obtained a huge taxes on goods exported from the India to England. They are obtaining a very huge taxes. Whatever the export, it will be going to be happen from India to England. Very less tax were imposed on a good imported from the England to India. And the British, they are paying a very less tax imposed on a good imported from the England to India. Good manufacture in England were machine made and hence there was a maximum production at a minimum cost. And England, they are doing torture to the Indian one that there was a maximum production at minimum cost. They are doing a very maximum production at a very minimum cost. It was happen very difficult for the Indian artists to compete with such a cheap price. And whatever the benefit they are capturing only a England person. Whatever the benefit, it will be going to be happen only for a England person. And the Indian person, they are going on a loss. They was going on a loss. The Indian person, they was going on a loss. And the England, they was in a profit in that British period, in that era. Now our next topic, that is the development of a new industry in India. The first point that it is, in 1853, Khawasji Nanabhai Dawar started the first textile mill in India. Second point that it is, in 1855, the first jute mill was started at Risra in Bengal. third point that it is in 1907 Jamshedji Tata established a Tata Iron and Steel Company of Jamshedpur. And you have to see in this diagram, you have to see in this figure here that he was a Jamshedji Tata and he established the Tata Iron and Steel Company on Jamshedpur in 1907. As we already see in this slide here that development of a new industry in India, and in that time, in that British era, our India started a new industry and it was going to be developed in that era also. India started the first textile mill in Mumbai in 1853. In 1855, the first jute mill was started at Risra in Bengal.